Hey, welcome back, everyone. Glad you're tuning in for some more Age of Empires 4 action. This is my second of 5 placement matches, and it's an English mirror. I wasn't really expecting it. I thought playing as the English, I'd just keep going up against people playing the new civilizations, but lo and behold, I'm playing against an English player. Usually on this map, I would not be playing the English. I really enjoy Opposite on this map, really enjoy Chinese on this map. Holy Roman Empire I've also seen picked a lot here. Not English. So I'm excited for this matchup. I'm going to put on my standard early pressure, but in this matchup, early man-at-arms can be very helpful. They just do well out in the middle of the map or really anywhere they're being supported by longbows. Ideally, they're headed towards something that they can throw a torch at, but man-at-arms units are just good for tanking arrow fire. Looks like I'm getting my council hall down faster than him. Looks like he's aging up just about now. There we go. And he's only got one. He's only got one person working on the council. Okay, now he's upping it more and more. There we go. Nah, he's getting aggressive as well. So we're gonna see lots of longbowmen, lots of man-at-arms, and we're also gonna see the defender's advantage if they have an outpost. Because I'll remind you, if the English are near anything you can garrison someone in, basically. If they're near anything like that, a building that can do that, they're going to get this enhanced attack speed bonus, which is really powerful and can give you a big advantage. So getting an outpost up or being near an outpost during a fight can be a big game changer. So I'm quickly pushing out these longbowmen. You can see I've got 3... and it looks like we're just going to snipe down his scout. And now we're going to show some aggression here. We're going to make Spearman in case he went directly for his stables. But honestly, we should be getting some man-at-arms mixed in here. Or at least getting that upgrade to early. Pushing up to the front of his base, we're going to try and snipe villagers as quickly as we can. And we successfully get one. Don't want to lose our own villager. We're going to have her put down an outpost. And we're posturing at the front of his base. We're also halting his gold income. And we might... okay, we snipe another scout, snipe a longbowman, and now I've decided, okay, let's grab villagers while we're here. We'll back up, and the outpost nerfs means this one did not get up. Maybe if I was China or a few patches ago, that thing would go up rapid fire. Opponent is getting horticulture, gain a lot of these early economic techs. I'm getting wheelbarrow. Oof, and I'm eating a lot of arrow fire here. We're coming forward. It's good that we're fighting underneath this barracks because it just spits out units and I'm basically on top of him. Whereas his longbowman can't actually do much damage to my my buildings, so he just kind of has to sit in the proximity of this barracks. And occasionally his units shoot at the barracks just on accident, like during a battle, and that's really advantageous for us. Oh, yep, see? We keep engaging well here. Nice. Looking good. Producing more man-at-arms. Looks like my opponent is also going for wheelbarrow. I'm deciding to scout with this man-at-arms. I was curious what route he might be going. Maybe I should have brought a scout or sent in this horseman. That may have been a better option. On the back end of all this, we're taking the deer camp here, we're mining stone, and we're gathering up a lot of wood. In fact, we're actually up to 300 stone. If we can get to 350, then we can put a town center down. There was a slight nerf to town centers, so they're a little bit pricier. Kind of losing this battle up front. He's committing well to it, and he's getting blacksmith upgrades. He really needs that siege engineering here because he's not doing any damage to my barracks, and it's continuing to produce basically on top of his units. Still battling it out. Look, his archers occasionally getting distracted. We're going to have to back up. But now we get the network of castles bonus. So we're getting a plus 20% increase in damage. And look how distracted his army is. Some of his units over here are attacking the building. These, I mean, it's just rapid fire over here. And we've got our horseman here. He can tank a little bit. And he does great damage to the longbowmen. Accidentally sent a villager forward. Should probably pull her back. She might make it out. He's having to come forward. Okay, he gets the villager. That puts us at fairly even villager count. Looks like I've killed 2 of his workers. He's killed 3 of mine. Oh, getting good shots. Yeah, and now that my horseman is just out in the field attacking his units, that's great. Opponent is continuing to get blacksmith upgrades. While he's militarizing further, we're going for a second town center. I do have a larger army count right now. We could be aggressive. Hard to say what my opponent's going for. We're just seeing a lot of tech, a big pileup of gold. Starting to make a transition to a lot of food. That is a lot of food. He's gained a slight, villager advantage. I think maybe the town center wasn't firing. This one needs to get firing. Hopefully we get this producing villagers shortly, because we needed this to pay off. That is going to be a bit more... Okay, there we go. That's going to be a bit more food expense coming my way, so it's going to be difficult to produce these early man-at-arms. I mean, they're 100 food apiece. We're going to try and go for a food source this way while walling off this section. We could maybe go for these berries. They're kind of hidden, but I figured at least we were trading somewhat well up here on the front. Opponent also getting the specialized pick. So now his income is just inherently better than mine. Even though I have equal villagers, his economy is stronger just from all of these economic upgrades that he's acquired. And he's got the blacksmith upgrades, so while I am getting the enhanced attack speed, the numbers do add up. And again, his man-at-arms just can't really engage. We're picking off longbowmen, reducing the size of his longbowman mass. Gotta attack when these early man-at-arms come out. We don't want to be... Yeah, there we go. Now we're trading a little bit better. That plus 20%, that attack speed bonus might just be making up the deficit for my blacksmith upgrades. Wow, yeah, he's getting the full suite. I can pop some villagers inside of this outpost. So we're further damaging his units. But it is idling some of my economy. Opponent, decent amount of idles. Got 5, and I'm starting to get that villager advantage from having 2 town centers. Gotta keep fighting here. Target the longbowman. Forget about the man-at-arms. Ah, yeah, we're not focus firing. We need to. Stutter stepping, we can, oh, and we get the upgrade, so now this emplacement's doing 10 damage a shot. we're going to have to start looking for a new food resource. I mean, that was just way too many villagers on those berries. So we're sending them elsewhere. We are getting a villager advantage, so that's good. Ooh, but 11 idle right now. Let's see if we can't correct that. Early man-at-arms tanking damage. We're getting pickoffs. He's continuing to damage the barracks, but we can repair it surprisingly quickly after he leaves. Look at that. We're getting great trades here. While his archers are busy dealing 1 damage to my barracks, we're picking them off one by one. Yeah, that's perfect. Honestly, the AI just really bugs out on buildings. I think they're going to change that in the future, but just having a building nearby in the battle is incredibly helpful. And yeah, he's realized it. He's putting down a ram. We're continuing to keep that villager advantage, but we have to keep these town centers working. It looks like they just went idle again. We need to spend this food. We always need to have these working. To be honest, it's... oh man, this is probably going to be more than a minute. That should be priority number 1 during all these sieges. Like, you're trying to get away with something, at least get away with it to some degree. Yeah, we need to keep producing. We've got the food to do it. We need to spend it. He's coming forward. These are some tanky units with 1/1 upgrades completely. Fortunately, and we're using some villagers here, we're still not producing from our town center. We're cutting off reinforcements. I like seeing that. These horsemen are actually doing somewhat well by staying active, because they can charge, they can kind of get in the way of other units. Like, they're trading really well here. And I think these longbowmen over here are getting some good pickoffs from behind. Villagers are defending themselves, and we're trying to take out this battering ram. Looks like we have enough to age up. Oh, the outpost being gone is really painful. Though, fortunately, the main town center is firing. But we're just not dealing damage to these man-at-arms. They got 4 ranged armor, and we're dealing only 6 ranged armor. Or 6 ranged damage. We are fortunately getting away with all these other resource spots. Like, we can basically put all of our wood to work on units and longbowmen rather than farms, because we're kind of sidestepping the issue. Though we are making a transition. We just don't have the firepower. He can sit on this this wood line, do whatever he wants. Because yeah, look at how tanky these guys are. That said, they're not doing anything right now, just taking arrow fire like that. So he's going to retreat back. It looks like he's going to target my military production. Don't really blame him. I do age up with the white tower. It can actually fire at his units. It kind of gets a small burst right here. It'd be nice if we could get a little wall right there. Cut off his units. But we're just producing units as desperately as we can. And fortunately, the white tower is going to produce units for me. I can use it to produce knights. And I think knights are what's going to pull me out of this predicament. So you can see I've got one coming out of this stable. He probably knows it. There it is. It's so tanky, tons of health. If it attacks his man-at-arms, it's the best because he can punch through that armor. But yeah, it looks like we're going to lose the stables there, which is painful. We've got to get more military production, so we're putting down stables. And this is how ridiculous the English can be. I don't even have a military production building right now. It's just the White Tower and the Council Hall spitting out knights and a longbowman. So look at this. The knight finally gets on top of these longbowmen and just cuts away at them. Opponent makes it to the castle age. He went with the king's palace, so that's his second town center. I do still have a slight villager advantage, but I suspect that because of these resource upgrades, I'm still getting outmatched in income. Let's see, food. Okay, no, I am actually ahead in wood. That's good. He's so close to knocking down the second town center, and this is a great target. It has less health than the main town center. Oh, the knight is really pulling me out. Looks like even getting man-at-arms in the mix. Like seeing that. We'll do a little repairs with our villagers. The white tower is continuing to get just a little bit of tickles as units come around, so they're always coming in a little injured. So that's good. And we're trying to do damage here, but look at all the upgrades that my opponent's getting. He has all this gold, and he's using it just completely in the castle age. He's produced knights. He's bringing them in to kill my villagers. That's okay. We're just going to keep producing knights on our own. Oof, losing a villager there. Glad to see we're still producing villagers. Looks like we got them rallying over on these farmlands. But just that right there, taking my villagers off gold, that was really painful. He was wise to focus on getting this gold income. It's so helpful during the castle age. And he's leveraging it with economic upgrades and unique upgrades from the English, like armor clad. But he is streaming his units in, and the white tower is putting in work. Just sniping these units down. And yeah, he's just mismicroing a lot here. So we'll just repair up this town center and try to stabilize. We've gotten away with a lumber line here. We're still picking away at these berries. We're switching to more farmlands. We need to wall this southern section up, and it looks like walls are on my mind. There we go. Sad to see us on equal villagers. I mean, if I had been a little bit better about producing, we would probably be ahead right now. But instead, we're on even footing. And there's a really bad house block. That hurts, because these villagers are ready to come out. 21 worker kills for my opponent? That is insane. I wonder where I lost them all. It must have been like clumps of 3, clumps of 4, clumps of 5. So the villager advantage that I was looking forward to is gone. We're going to send out knights, though. Knights are good raiding units. We might be able to get a few villager kills. Looking at the army totals, about even, but my opponent is beginning to pull ahead. I really only have so much production. But we are spending somewhat well. We just have a big excess of food, and if we were wise here, we would instead be putting more villagers on gold. Because we are so far behind in upgrades. We only just now put down a blacksmith, so we really need to pump out upgrades here. I guess we're failing to recognize just how much gold can be leveraged in the Castle Age, because these knights are incredible. There's a whole host of siege units and technologies that you can really catch up on. Opponent has secured a relic, although we are doing the same. Finding some villagers. Don't really want to engage with the man-at-arms. Instead, we want to go after these injured villagers. Or just get away from all these high damage units. We'll ride through the farmlands and just look for random villager kills. There we go. On the north side, we'll pick away at some of his walls. And we're getting a preview of his army. We seem to be distracting him somewhat well with these this knight harassment because he's really floating a lot of resources. I suppose I'm doing the same. Need to put down military production. Unit composition looks like my opponent has mostly man-at-arms, crossbowmen, and a few knights. I'm getting a lot of spearmen, and it looks like man-at-arms, but not nearly as many, and I'm only equal on knights. Damn. We have just a lot of weak units that have no upgrades. These spearmen are just not doing it. Yeah, they'll be great if they can directly engage with his 8 knights, but that may be tricky. Don't know if I should be coming forward here. I am on a villager advantage, but I'm not sure about an economic advantage here. Opponent is up to 2 relics. I'm at 1. Looks like we're engaging. I don't see the network of castles really in effect here. Engaging well against the knights, but these spearmen just aren't doing enough damage. And the crossbowmen were so good at killing my melee units. Now he's aggressively going for stone. Look at how many villagers he has up here mining. If only I had realized right now how much of an all-in this is. You can see he has spent... Oh. He is trying to resize his age up. Well, first there's the keep going up. And then he's going to eyeball putting his imperial age landmark down. I mean, all of his units are up here. His wood income is nothing. So all he's got are his farmers and his people mining. And then all of these villagers are up here basically just saying, we're going to end the game here. At first, you might say, well, okay, just give up the front. We can, although right now we're panicking to get crossbowmen out here. Sadly, we've got none in the queue. We need them coming. There they are. And this keep is just getting free kills. We gotta back off. He's got a much larger army. We do have the villager advantage, but it's so slight. And yeah, his economy is at nearly a standstill with all those villagers out front. I have enough to put down a keep of my own. Maybe I should be putting one like right here. Longbowmen are getting shots. But here is the very genius play from my opponent. 25 villagers. He doesn't care if he loses villagers here. This is an all-in from him. Longbowmen are getting those kills. And now we're going to engage with his army. I'm hoping that my crossbowmen and, of course, the white tower will have enough DPS to put down his tanky units. I'm actually using my longbowman to target his villagers, but, I mean, he came at it with 25. This thing's going up no matter what. We're trying to anticipate this. We've got the siege workshop in the back. It just produced a mangonel, but we need it to produce a trebuchet. So opponent makes it to the Imperial Age, but I'm on a timer. The issue here is that while I do have a stronger economy than him, and I'm just not spending it well, I mean, we've got to get everything producing nonstop. We're floating so many resources, but again, we don't have enough gold. We could put down our own Elsbach. But the issue here is that my opponent has this, the Berkshire. This Berkshire Palace right here in the front of my base. So he can actually get a siege line going here. I can do the same. I mean, I've got my trebuchet coming out, but I need another siege workshop and a lot more gold coming in. See, he's already got the trebuchet at the front of my base. Yeah, we're sieging down the Berkshire. And we can probably outproduce him. But we have to be able to spend it. And here he comes for the trebuchet. We cannot lose this piece of siege equipment. It's the only thing that is keeping us in this game. Fortunately, he decides to engage with my units. I'm using the mangonel to try and target his crossbowman in the back there. That's a pretty good shot. Would love to see another one. Oh, but it bugs out. That's annoying. Fortunately, that means we got all of our longbowmen attacking his units, so at least we were doing a lot of DPS while he charged at us. And now he's lost his army. You can see we have a huge army advantage now. The problem is the Berkshire is just right here, and he's about to be able to just repair it. So I have to go underneath the Berkshire or around it. Thing is, I don't think I have gates. Okay, I do have a gate up here. Really need to send this army all the way around. We need to get around the Berkshire Palace and just try and cripple his economy. Additionally, we need to spend that wood and get anyone, just new villagers, anyone, off of food and over to gold. We're engaging. Maybe we should have committed here. I think that might have been the play, but we're going to pull back. Yeah, I mean, we had the advantage. Thing is, we just don't have upgrades either. Yeah, we've got ranged armor now, so that's good. But we have to do something about the Berkshire. He's also bringing in hand cannoneers. It's that focus on food and gold that my opponent went for. And it's working out because he's able to tech up, get these great research, get elite upgrades for his units. Meanwhile, I'm just busy producing, trying to get a higher population count than him. Like, look, it's 173 of my units versus 125 of his. He's really going for a targeted strategy. He may have had this in mind in the beginning, but maybe the moment he saw all three of my landmarks right next to each other that he decided, okay, I'm gonna push forward and we're gonna try and end this. Because, I mean, he did bring all those villagers forward. So you can see my upgrades coming just a bit too late. Only now getting my upgraded man-at-arms. These are elite man-at-arms for him. So he's stayed focused with his unit production. Just knight, elite man-at-arms, hand cannoneers. Just food and gold, food and gold. If I get just food and gold units, eventually his units are going to wear out. And only now am I making that rotation and getting more gold income. I'm recognizing it just way too late because he's already hitting my town center. I think at this point I had to surrender because the moment this town center falls, the game's over. It was a very exciting game. I enjoyed my opponent's strategy here. I've seen it once before on Hill and Dale, and I do like it. But man, what a cool strategy. I mean, kudos to him for doing it. And honestly, I think this will help refine my English gameplay because, man, can the English spend gold well. And man, are tech so much more important in this game. And look at that, our population's pretty much equalized at that point. Great game. Opponent said he was aiming for diamond, so let's hope the placement matches keep us there. All right, catch you next time.